Hi and welcome to the Movement Lesson Sports Academy. Today we're going to have a look at the movement of one of tennis's next stars. It's somebody who's already been to #1 in the world, already won titles, but recently has come under a bit of criticism for the amount of injuries that he's sustained so far in his career. Jimmy Connors, the tennis legend, has questioned why he's getting so many injuries at such a young age, and his own coach has even come out and said that the team are going to have to review how he plays the game. That, of course, is Carlo Alcaraz, and if you like what we cover in the video, then please give us a like, please subscribe, and keep following and looking out for more videos. But the big thing for me with Carlos Alcaraz and what makes him look so good is also the reason that he could be suffering from these injuries. Let's dive into the footage. First up, we're going to have a look at his ability to get around court. Now, Alcaraz is a fast twitch player. He's very quick, he's very explosive, he gets to shots that other players can't make. Great example in this match here, playing against a fellow #5 player in the world as well. He's able to recover. His weight transfer is brilliant. His counter rotation, his counterbalance are all phenomenal. And he's able to get to shots that other players just can't get to. If we have a look here, look at the ability for the head. Now, rotation is really important through movement. The more that we can rotate, the easier it is for us to move, the lighter we feel. Now, Alcaraz looks really light on his feet, and you saw with the rotation through the head as he makes that shot, his rotation level, you see there the rotation, he's able to get the eyes able to stay on the ball. He's got the rotation through the upper spine. He's got really good, we're going to look at some more clips in a second, he's got good rotation through the upper part of his body. He's got a great shoulder pump, and you're going to see that the rotation comes through, particularly on his follow through. And you see here that his eyes are able to come back onto the court. His spine's already rotating, his shoulders rotating, the facing the opposite way to his hips, and that means that his eyes are back looking at his opponent to see what his opponent's doing. He's tracking the ball, which is giving him an advantage. We've got more clips here of Alcaraz, and if we take a look again, movement around the court. Look all the time where his chest is going to end, facing where the ball's going to go. Consequently, it's taking pressure off the eyes. It means that he's tracking the ball a lot better, and it's aiding his anticipation, not to mention the hand-eye coordination. He's able to see what his opponents are doing. He's able to predict where they're going to be playing the ball. Now, this is a great replay of the same point that we've just been watching a second ago. And again, you saw that with the head, and it's almost on a swivel. But he's back into position. His weight transfer, the counter rotation, the counterbalance is better than a fellow top 5 player in the world. He's able to get back into position and make the opponent play one more shot. You also note how much his hips are involved in his movements, like letting the ball come across the body and guiding it. And again, he's got such great touch around the court because of the control that he's able to have while getting into the right position with the hips and the rotation of the upper body. The fact that he's got great weight transfer, you saw on the serve there how he ended up in the intense pressure. Very fast twitch, very muscle dominant, but looks great and is what a lot of people like to see. Again, you see in the chest, facing where the ball's going to go, the hips coming into play, that weight transfer. He's back into position, ready for the next ball, the next shot very quickly. There again, sliding to make the shot, but get in there, and again, keeping that point alive, getting to balls that other players on the tour would not be able to get to. Forcing the opponent to play one more, that's a phenomenal passing shot. But we'll now get to some of the areas of concern, and it's something that his coach is perhaps alluding to when they're talking about having to look at the way that Alcaraz plays the game. Now, we've alluded to the fact that he's very fast twitch and he makes him look a great player around the court, but it also makes him very, very muscle dominant. There's a couple of issues that we've highlighted for Alcaraz. First up, when we're actually taking a look at him playing the shot, look how often his left foot is up off the ground. Now, I've seen several clips where his left foot's up off the ground, and as a result, it could be questioned whether his rotation through that leg is as good as other parts of the body, and particularly his right leg. His left leg quite often is late to come round, is late to rotate, and he's hitting shots where he is off the ground a lot. Now, as a result of that, he's up off the ground, which means that he's going to have to put more strain on the body, on his ability to counter rotate and counterbalance to get back into position. He's putting more strain on the back and on the hips, and as a result, he's going to have to work harder. Now, as we focus on the left ankle, we spend a little bit more looking at this. You start particularly on the clay courts. Look how much he everts that ankle. It rolled there. I'm going to slow some of these shots down so you can actually see more detail. But we're watching as he plays ball. Look at that eversion there. I'm going to go back to clips that we started to look at a little bit earlier on, and we're focusing on the left ankle. And look at also, we're talking about, is there a weakness in the left leg? That rotation. Also, watch how much the eversion takes place on this left ankle. There we see it as he overstretches it, as he plays the shot overstretch. You see it in on the clay court more prominently, but you also see it on some of the hard courts with some of the shots he's playing there again. Roll the ankle. And for somebody who's worked so hard and moved so quickly, saw it quite evidently there, that he's getting around the court so much, he's putting a great deal of strain on the ankle. So many shots on that forehand side. The left leg's either got to come up in the air or he's rolling it. Now, he's played a fantastic point, but it still emphasises the strain that he's putting on the ankle. I'm starting to think about Andy Murray in terms of Andy Murray having ankle issues early on in his career, and the issues that put on his knee and hips in particular that really affected and brought a premature end to Murray's career. And I think that could be exactly the same for Alcaraz. He needs to be looking at proprioception, and he needs to be looking at any issues through that left leg. He's able to move around the court. He's getting to balls he shouldn't move to. He's quicker at moving, but he's putting more strain on when he does change direction on that left ankle that could lead to more problems later on. If he doesn't address that now, then he's increasing his injury risk long term. We're just going to have a look at this clip because we see it almost on every shot. We're looking at this left ankle again. See it there, that aversion. And again, you know, his upper body rotation, his counter rotation is great, which is bringing him back round, but he's putting a lot of strain on perhaps another part of the body that doesn't quite match his top half. Again, ankle there, a little collapse. Eversion is a problem with him, the strain that he's going to be putting onto tendons and ligaments. Slow for the left leg to rotate round again there, compared to his right foot and his hips and his shoulders. There again, look at the strain, the eversion that's taken place through his ankle. And yeah, he's fast twitch, is able to get to shots that other people wouldn't, but it's putting that ankle under strain. And again, as he's sliding, look at that. I mean, again, fast twitch reactions, make him brilliant. His chest and his eyes coming into play. He's able to anticipate and move quickly and get to balls and show the reactions that people just wouldn't expect, and takes his game to another level. But at the same time, we're seeing the fact that his ankle is under strain there. Now, another issue with Alcaraz's fast twitch is the fact that he uses his muscles, and he's very muscle dominant to his advantage. But what it means is that he takes a very short backswing, and he relies on his muscles and his fast twitch ability to generate his power. Now, the rotation from the top half, and you see it really good on his follow through, is brilliant. Now, I don't know if it's a tactical decision from his team and something that they can address, but look how short his backswing is. He's late to bring his elbow back into his serve, and he brings it through very quickly. The weight transfer is great, but also on the forehand, he's very late to bring the ball through. There's not a great backswing there, and he's relying on his muscles, putting more strain on the muscles. Late to come through. Late, not a big backswing. It's a big follow through, but if you look at this backswing here, he's late to bring it back, and there's not a huge amount of rotation involved in that backswing. Now, the more rotation there is, then the less strain we're putting on the body, the less strain we're putting on the muscles. Increase that rotational element, then that's allowing it to become more of an efficient movement, and it's going to reduce the injury risk that Alcaraz is going to face. More examples of it here. Very late again. The elbow came back right towards it was after the top of the ball toss. He's late to bring that elbow back, and again relying on the muscles to bring him through and generate his power. Also look at the rotational element on it in his backswing, and as we get into the next shot, we're going to look at his back foot pivot. Again, there's not a great deal of back foot pivot. There's not a great deal of rotation through there. If we increase the rotation through the back foot pivot, we're going to take some of the strain off the muscles. He's going to have a more efficient action that's going to put less strain on him and reduce his injury risk. You see it there. And again, the foot coming off the floor to help him generate some of the power, but then he's got to work even harder to get back, and he's relying on those muscles to get back into position. Not a massive amount of rotation on that backswing, and as a result, he's having to work even harder. Another example here, that back foot pivot, and again, not a great deal of rotation bringing that back through. Increase that rotation is going to make the movement more efficient. There we go, not a huge backswing, he's short to the ball, and there's not a great deal of rotation. So that highlights some of the issues with Alcaraz, what makes him great, what problems he may face. If you like